Ruth and Naomi came to this town because both of them are destitute women. One is a widow. One is both are widows, and Naomi had no food to eat, and then Ruth need to look for a job and look for some food. And the Bible says it's really interesting. Out of desperation, they came to this newfound place because they tried to find some food. They came back to the town to a place to look for food, and there was this Boaz field. Boaz is in fact one of the relatives, So, it's really interesting. It's interesting that Ruth went out to look for grain. You know how it works? Because it is out of the graciousness of God. In the Old Testament, God commanded Israel, when you harvest the field, don't harvest to the edges of the field. You harvest the field, but leave some on the edges, leave them behind so that you don't harvest the whole lot. Leave them for people who are in need. It's just so amazing. God just have this kind of heart attitude. Just amplified, just exuberance. God is a real gracious God, guys. So when you and I are in this situation, remember the poor, remember the destitute, okay? Don't take it all for yourself. Leave some for the people in need. For us, it means that we should give some of our offerings to those poor, those in need. Apart from going to giving to the church in our tithe and offerings and stuff, okay? So Ruth went to the field to glean. That's the word, to glean, to harvest what is left over, And the Bible actually said, Ruth chapter 3 says that as it turns out, what a wonderful way. As it turns out, she was working in the field that belongs to her relative, a kinsman redeemer, Boaz. Now, I have this thesis. I don't believe that it is a coincidence that she ended up working in Boaz's field. I think this is the divine providence of God leading her, directing her to Boaz's field. I think this is tremendously encouraging. I think a lot of people struggle with the fact that God seems to be so quiet. The thing is, God works mightily as well, quietly. But when I say God works mightily, He works in a silent way.